In my next video, I will show you what are all the key elements that you should add in your resume when you are portraying yourself as you worked for any particular product. On that note, I will give you two set of things. One, you can establish yourself as a technical support engineer. Since, bro, I don't have much experience, bro, I can't build much stories. Okay, fine. You can build some major stories. That's more than enough. Will make you understand, okay, this guy is working technical support team at least. And trust me guys, from technical support team, you can navigate to any team. And people, most of them don't get development opportunities. We start a career in technical support team and we boom our career. We learn new technologies that suit for a particular project and we will move it to that. And similarly, when you have, you can build stories as that. And secondly, you can also, bro, already I'm working in a technical support, bro. I have to go into the analytical team. I have to go in much technical. Then again, I'm going to give some 5 important points that you can add in your resume that you worked in a product-based organization. And again, in the upcoming days, you will get familiar with the ticketing tool. You will be familiar with what are the key points you can add in your resume. And I'm planning to make a separate video series that comprises of 15 videos about Splunk, which is a superb monitoring tool to analyze the big data. Let's see what are the different teams available in a project. So normally, initially, we have L1 or L2 support teams, or we can also call that as customer support or a technical support. What they actually do, when a customer goes and places any order, if everything is going fine, then there is no intervention of this customer support. Sometimes if they face any issue with the product, or if they don't receive the correct product, or if they face any kind of discrepancy with the orders, then they have to reach out to that particular team, right? Hence, this technical support or a customer support will come into role. The difference between the customer support and the technical support is like customer support are the people who are not capable to provide any technical advice to you. They will document your queries, they will gather all the information from you and they will move it to the next level of team who are called as a technical support team. In some organizations, technical support and customer support are function as the same. So this technical support, what they do, they will try to provide you some workaround. What do you mean by workaround? It is a temporary solution. Using the temporary solution, if you can get away from that particular problem, it is fine. Else, they have to navigate that to the appropriate team. For example, you are going and placing an order. You are giving a credit card information. After the payment, you are not receiving the payment receipt, or it is showing still it is not showing the order is ordered successfully. On that note, already the amount would have been left from your bank. So what you will do, you will make a call to that particular you will be reaching to your bank. Actually in your bank, they will inform, yes, the amount has been credited to that particular organization, the particular e-commerce site. Then you have to reach to that particular customer support and you will be giving your queries. This is one side. On the other side, when multiple users or from the people from multiple region could not access a particular website or could not access a particular link, again this should be brought to the consent team. What do you mean by the consent team? That particular project or that particular product like Amazon or a Flipkart, you have to inform them, right? So whom you will inform? You will inform to the technical support team. So this technical support team will actually gather the insight from the customer end. So what is the knowledge required for the technical support? 3 important things. You should have a basic email etiquettes. Okay. Secondly, you should have a good communication level. Third, you should have somewhat a good Excel knowledge and you should be familiar with some ticketing tools like ServiceNow or Jira. In my upcoming episodes, I will make some videos for that. But ticketing tool is nothing but you will gather the informations. In my next episode, I will show how it actually looks. So you will gather the customer number, appropriate address, what are all the issues that he faced. You will be properly documenting it. Once you document, if you are in a technical support, you will try to give some solutions. If it is not applicable, you will move it to the appropriate team. Okay, it is a payment issue. Then who is the payment vendor? In my order flow, I have showed like payment gateways like Braintree or Adyen is taking care, right? You will be writing an email to that particular vendor. Or else, if the order is not delivered properly, they do not receive the proper tracking number, then you have to reach out to UPS. Who will reach out to UPS? Who will reach out to Adyen? Who will reach out to Braintree? This technical support team, who function as L1 and L2, they will be writing an email to the particular vendors, and from the particular vendors, proper conclusion will be made. So this will be the workflow of the technical support team. They will be having a predefined SLAs. They will follow the process of ITIL, Information Technology Infrastructure Library. That is something concept where it is a concept how and exactly the IT should function and establish a very good customer relationship. Okay, so all this will be discussed in detail in interview point of view in my next episode. So this is what the technical support actually does. So if you don't have any programming knowledge, and if you don't have much analytical knowledge, and if you have a good communication level, and if you can probe is something like, in Tamil we say pottu vaangradhu. If you have to probe from the customers, you will be documenting it. You will try to find some workaround and you will be moving into the appropriate team if you could not do that. And on this note, I would like to mention that I am planning to make an interview session with this kind of technical support people or desktop engineers, so that they will share their knowledge and some important interview tips or the important 10 to 15 questions that if you are a fresher or any non-technical person who are looking for a technical support opportunity under the line technical, okay, then their guidance and their advice and the key areas that they suggest will help you in a better way. So in the upcoming days, the interview session videos are already shooted and I will upload that. Secondly, data analytics team, which I am in. What the data analytics team actually do? As a data analytics team, we are the prime responsible in order to monitor the website and will understand the flow. They create various reports, they do various dashboards. Like if we say everything in words or in text based, people will not understand it easily, right? That is a proverb. A single picture can speak 1,000 words, right? Similarly, we generate reports, we do visualizations, we set alerts, like when any particular unfortunately any kind of disaster or any collapse happen or any malfunction happen, it should generate an alert. This alert will be generated from a monitoring tool like Splunk, and it will be prompted in the ticketing tools, so that the people in the technical support will get to know, okay, something is happening, malfunction, Splunk has generated an alert, some monitoring tool has generated an alert. This monitoring tool will be integrated with that ticketing tool. So from this technical support team, data analytics team or the developer team will get to know and they will start working on it. The salient things that the data analytics team, whatever they work, I will show it in the next slide. And what I mean by content team? Content team is somebody who manages the content. As you see here, various contents are displayed, right, under various categories. So once you go, you can see different categories, right? All these are based on will be managed by the content team. Once a developer develop the code and they do the launches, content team will actually organize these things and they sync the thing. Since the different vendors will be integrated with the Salesforce Commerce Cloud, and when any particular issue happen, if you have any network issue, we have to reach out to the network vendor. If you have any kind of payment issue, will be reaching to the payment people. So this is how the function of the different vendors in the team perform. And procurement team. Yeah, who is the procurement team? Thereby the desktop engineers and all come into the role. So normally we work for the customers, right? So if any customer faces any issue, has the employee of the particular product based organization, it's our prime responsible to sort their issue within the predefined SLA, which is called as a service level agreement. While I launched my video on ITIL, the interview tips for infrastructure, you will get to know the complete path about the ITIL and how to prepare yourself for these kind of interviews in my next video. On this note, saying about the procurement team, why I mentioned this is like when customer faces any issue, you are there. But what happens when you faces an issue? When you work for an organization, you have internet connectivity, you should have a feasible internet connectivity, you should have a proper functioning of your systems, your peripheral devices. When any malfunctions happen in your peripheral devices, or when you need to boot your system, or any kind of upgrade activities happens, or when you need to prevent your system from any viruses, all these kind of proactive measures will be managed by the procurement team. So this procurement team are the people who actually take care about the peripherals and the proper internet connectivity that to be established within the organization. So they are the internal people, okay, and thereby developers comes to role. When you have very good knowledge in Python, Java, HTML, CSS, again development is about two sides, a front end and a back end. What is the front end? Again, whatever you see here is a front end. They are also called as UI developers. They design how the website actually looks with the help of HTML, CSS or JavaScript, PHP or Python. These kind of, if you are good in these kind of technologies, you can design a website. Is there enough of designing a website? No. Once the website is designed, the customer is giving the data. These data has to be stored somewhere, thereby to establish a server-side communication between the front end and the server side. The back-end developers come to the role. Again, in Salesforce Commerce Cloud, we have a cloud. In the cloud itself, all the data will be stored on all data analytics activities, development activities, testing activities, launches, releases, changes, everything will happen. Launches is something like when I launch a new product. If I'm going to launch something new in this website. Releases, again, when I'm going to release something new. Changes, if I'm going to make any subsequent changes in the already existing feature. This is called launches. So all the releases, changes, all this will be managed in the Salesforce Commerce Cloud. Okay, we don't need any kind of separate server or separate platform. That is why Salesforce Commerce Cloud is such a booming career, and which is concentrated on the based of first preference to a mobile architecture. Even using mobile, the customer can experience a very good service. So developers or those who have a very good programming knowledge and establish a proper database connectivity and a network connectivity, and they sync the gap between the customer and the factory with the proper server side communication and major incident management team. When a huge disaster or a problem happens, like any particular site is completely down, what happens? For example, think about Amazon Big and Sale is going on, and suddenly when Amazon site is down, they need to face the crores and millions of losses, right? No customer will place them, because once I enter into the product based organization, I really thrilled to see, like, for every 1 hour or like for every 24 hours how much of transactions they are making. It's really how they actually earn, like in millions and billions. So when any 1 hour or 2 hours such happenings happen, literally when the service goes down, the project will go down. So when such kind of major incidents happen, just think on what are all the major incidents. When the server goes down, when particular website is not even functioning, when thousands of customers are facing an issue with ordering for a particular product, all this will have like a major impact, and all these kind of major issues will be handled by the major incident management team. Again, see guys, you are not going to work on all these 8 concepts, right? You have to know the knowledge. So when any major issue happen in an IT field, there is something called as a major incident management team. They will come into the role and they will do the intervention, and they provide a proper conclusion. So all teams, all vendors, and all the people in that particular organization, they join together and work on that particular issues. And at the top of the hierarchy, we have a project manager. So a project manager is the one who have to follow everything from the base to the top, and even establish a proper collaboration. So this is how the actual project works, guys. And please do subscribe my channel and encourage my efforts by sharing the more you can. So IT is the one, you have a huge scope. It's not just about programming, it's just about your attitude, your communication growth, and typically how you narrate your stories and how you build contacts. On seeing you with my next episode. This is Subramani signing off from my YouTube channel, Little Jester. Bye.